Heroes of Trash.
Hello, it's us.
Boom.
We have audio and everything. We're good. Meg, don't bite that.
Hello.
Meg, don't bite it.
Oh, can we be heard? Can we be heard? Confirm to me, please.
Hey.
Excellent. We are heard. That is always a good thing to be. And so, without any delay, I shall begin. Hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. It is I, your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist, welcoming you to another episode of Trash Heroes, the D&D stream where we recount the epic adventures of this wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures known as the Trash Heroes. Our players are this group of talented internet artists. Please check out all of their wonderful works that you can find in the upper right-hand doobly-doo. I'm going to point the wrong way. There, point the other way, because my camera reverses. You will find everybody's social medias and Patreons, but you can support and pay to your local artists to continue to make art, which is always a good thing. You can, of course, also support the channel itself. There is a Patreon for Trash Heroes, which you can find links to below, as well as links to the Discord, where you can chat with some of these other fun folks and see some behind-the-scenes stuff. And it's all good fun. That said, let's meet the characters. First up, Keeper of the Vermin, Protector of the Trash Heap. It's Fetid Quaggle. Next up is the larger-than-life pit-fighting superstar that is Oogna Sugartusks.
It's bone crushing time.
And then we have our trickster cleric, rogue baker, and all-around party animal Tromlin
Sluts?
And then there's the wild magic streaming sensation, Morgan the Satyr.
Hello.
And finally, our sweet old grandpa, who's also accidentally an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine.
I was a ghost the whole time!
Surprising no one.
Wait, you're a warlock?
Only accidentally.
Yeah, that's true.
So when we last left our heroes, we had quite the game. The party finally defeated the dreaded Quaggillithid. We began in mid-combat on the island lair in the deep sewers under the city of Dwimmerdell. Oogna was grappling, which just turned out to be a great way to find out that the Quaggillithid was a vampire when it began draining her blood. Tromlin had been turned to stone by accident by the party's new friend Gary the Beholder, but was in fact conscious the entire time. Gary was locked in battle with the slime chewel beneath the surface of the lake. Morgan was on the roof of a small stone tower throwing lots of bolts of lightning and chaos at the vampire Quaggillithid. And Fetid was circling the fray riding on Trey's back, Trey the owlbear, while Copernicus was locked in a mental prison, during which he experienced a harrowing pornographic interlude involving intellect devourers.
We all experienced that. It was awful. At least the chat.
Awful. I think it was incredible, actually.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
So with Oogna's blood being drained by the Quaggillithid, she wrestled him free and threw him across the beach to be shot up with lightning spells by Morgan and attacked by an angry badger summoned by Fetid.
I'm sure it's completely fine to be taken to 0 hit points by a vampire and nothing will come of it.
Yeah.
No, nothing at all. Copernicus broke free of the mental prison and reached out through reached out through the Perny net and found that he could use his blood magic to help Tromlin manifest his familiar as a blood monkey and still cast his spells while paralyzed. This was a hero point expenditure. Oogna then took Copernicus's ritual dagger and drove it deep into the Illithid's heart, which responded by draining her to the point of collapse, as was just alluded to. But then Tromlin zapped the thing with holy light, while Morgan thunderstepped Oogna to safety. And Copernicus made some sort of dark deal with a voice in his head. And as the Quaggillithid was engulfed in radiance and disintegrated, a dark energy surreptitiously left its body and moved to Copernicus. And I'm sure that will have no repercussions whatsoever. But the party was distracted from that event by Gary the Beholder bursting out of the lake and absolutely demolishing the slime jewel with death rays. The party then took a long and well-deserved rest in the Quaggillithid's tower, and Gary said goodbye and went to go find food. The party found a strange fairy gem and a fragment of an elvish poem called the Elenath, which has been translated to mean all of the stars.
Yes.
Yep.
Morgan mended a few of the books from the library, which you guys have not yet had a chance to investigate. The party went back to the surface and got Tromlin and Fetid restored at the Temple of Lolth, and then went and had a private chat in some kind of sex dungeon that Morgan had access to for some reason.
That makes sense. That didn't
Yeah.
surprise any of us, really.
No, not even Oogna.
And there Morgan shared the details of her encounter with the Archfey Sherlindria and told the others about the threat of the Necrogog and that the party appears to be destined to save the world. It showed them a potion that she was given by the Fae to cure the fungus plague. The party in return shared what they know about Oogna's sword and Glorpa's prophecies, and there was a lot of info dumping. Perny identified the fairy gem as an Arcadian keystone with illusion powers, and the group basically figured out a bit of what each other has going on and made plans to return to Mudhollow via Ravenfall and then travel east to see the Dwarves of Rockspire and onto the deserts of Ix. I think we should go ahead and pull the map up at this point, because we're going to start with you guys making some plans. And then finally you had discussed sending word around to rally the nations against the dangers that are apparently happening. Let's go for the world map, actually.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, no, this is probably better for you guys planning your
That's kind of what I was thinking. This one kind of goes from one end to the other.
Yeah. So you can see on the extreme left there, the city of Dormerdell.
That's where we are.
Above the Blackthorn Hills.
Currently.
And you can see the Great Ring Road that goes around the Sea of Evermere up towards Ravenfall, where Morgan seems to want to go, but it's on your way back to Mudhollow on the other side of the sea. And then beyond Mudhollow is the Wizard's Vale and the mountains, or the Iron Peak Mountains, where the dwarf city of Rockspire is. And beyond that, I don't know if you can scroll a little further. Not quite. Oh, there we go. We eventually get to the deserts of Ix, the very edge of the deserts, and then the northern city of Direwind, which is the trade city on the edge of the vast, vast desert. And that is where we pick up with you guys discussing your plans of travel and what are you going to do in terms of sending word to who. And I will point out that the characters have all leveled up to 8th level, but we haven't had a chance to update the little cycling character sheet thing.
We're still picking stuff
for next time, just for the audience's information. And actually, I think I'm going to start off while you guys are thinking about what exactly you want to do here with the party. I'm going to have you all kind of vacate the chat for a few minutes.
Ooh.
Because I think it is time to do a poll. I want to do one near the beginning here, but I might do a second later. We shall see. So I will ask the Shadow DM to begin the poll. Message him in case he can't hear me on the... Okay.
Hey, have you decided to stop yelling your head off? That's great.
No, never.
Oh, there we go. I'm in the chat room now. Oh, it wasn't working for me for a second there. I thought something was wrong with the chat.
Don't eat the camera. Don't eat the camera.
Yeah. Okay. The poll is live, and I will remind the audience that you can indeed vote in the poll once for free, but you can continue to vote for channel points, which are also free. You just get them for being here. So feel free to vote early, vote often, and pick your favorite of these. And in fact, I'm going to put a little bit of information in the chat, which we can then clear out later, so that these guys don't see it. But this chat will run for 10 minutes. And while I'm doing this typing, if you guys want to start talking about what you want to do in terms of spreading the word about this this apparent apocalypse that might be going on, and making travel plans.
I'm sure our plans will all be great.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They always are.
Never go.
We're the most qualified people to save the world, clearly.
Definitely.
Well, it seems that we want to make stops in Ravenfall, Mud Hollow, the Wizard's Vale, and Rockspire. And it probably wouldn't hurt to take stock of our allies and see who we might call on to influence the various factions who might be able to take a hand in mounting a defense against the Necrogog.
What about your magic lady friend? Maybe we should stop and tell her about this stuff? Like in Ravenfall?
Yeah. Maybe I should get some kind of, like, favor-winning gift or something before we do that, but I think that a stop would be in order. She certainly carries a lot of influence in the city.
We had to leave real fast last time, but maybe she'll forgive us by now, so it'll be okay. It'll be fine, I'm sure.
I think she might have been amused by the way we left, but I'm not sure.
Maybe we can bring her a cake.
Everyone likes cake.
Oh, and I can stop and see Basilisk.
That's true.
And then from there, I guess we just carry on the road back to Mud Hollow. It's gonna be a couple weeks of marching
when we get back there, but beyond that,
You were also going to discuss. How to go about spreading word. I believe you had decided you wanted to try and get Glorpa information about, or her hands on that potion to try and recreate it.
Yeah.
You also talked about contacting the maestro, and you were talking about contacting the elves and the dwarves. About
we should tell Dangolf that maybe a beholder's coming to his house, but maybe also that magic is going to happen, and it's bad. Can you still brain talk to him?
Sorry, to who?
To Dangolf.
I think I would find someone who can, if none of us have sending, then I think I need to find somebody in the city who I can just.
I could also do an animal messenger.
It's a pretty long distance. How could we get an animal messenger that far?
I mean, I could.
Yeah.
It would probably just take a while.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still in Dwemer though, so I'm sure the school is full of people who can cast sending.
Yeah.
That seems likely.
There's probably some poor placement student who's was promised they'll learn to be a powerful sword, and he's just like the telephone. That's
Yes.
his job. He's the telephone. Cool.
His name is Telly.
Oh
Tell me.
no.
Telly the intern.
Oh my goodness, there's some. I was going to say it was hotly contested because it was the last time I looked at the poll, but now there is a clear leader. Let's see where this goes.
That's rarely good for us.
I will say that it's a relatively benign poll this time for you guys.
Oh, starting us off easy on a new chapter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can do.
Poll is halfway. You can keep them votes coming, folks.
So yeah, I guess after we're done here at the sex dungeon, we'll head back to campus, go meet up with our sorcerer friends.
Mm-hmm.
The room
Sure,
has a
okay.
name. It's called the Echo Chamber, okay?
It's classy. It's a classy place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do believe that the restaurant out front that it was attached to, we decided was called the Rock Lobster.
Good. Yes. Yeah. And even though we brought in a bunch of food, we're down in the sewers for a couple days. So Oogna peeks her head back out at one point and orders more. We're gonna need a second
Rock
bowl of noodles
Lobsters
here.
are the special.
Oh, great. Give me 10 of those.
It's D&D, so each one is like 4 feet long. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's good.
It's just giant lobsters.
Or they're small and we have to order D52 of them.
Oh God.
I would like to see Fetid do the fishbone trick with a full lobster.
Oh yeah.
Well, except that you can't tell because he pulls it out and it's just an intact
It's just a
exoskeleton.
lobster.
Skeletons on the outside.
But it's hollow when it comes out. It's completely
And it's covered in goo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, like, maybe you could
And
just
even if it hasn't been
cut
cooked,
the-
it comes out bright red.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You could just cut the tip of it and then put that at the edge of the bucket and then just.
Yeah, it's like an egg.
You and Barb eat the same way.
Yeah.
Just invert your stomach into it.
Yeah, it's good.
Starfish style.
Excellent. Okay, so you guys make your way out. On your way out of the sex dungeon, Tromlin, I would like you to roll a perception check. Do. Sorry, did you hear me, Randy?
Oh, you're muted?
I think
Sorry, I hit
Randy-
myself muted. Sorry, I was muted.
Ah, gotcha. What'd you roll for a perception?
22.
Okay, so as you guys are leaving, Tromlin, you will notice. Others might notice the activity, but it doesn't ring any bells or make anyone in any way notice, like take particular note. But Tromlin will notice the interactions between Morgan and the proprietors of the restaurant. As Morgan, you use your gesture language to, what were we calling it? I think we were calling it slut cant. But basically, yeah, you use your gesture language to sort of thank them for the use of the back room, and let them know that everything is fine.
Often
Tromlin, you just
thanking people
notice
for their
that
back room use.
communication.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it is a common.
I'm not gonna bring it up. It's not my
Common
business,
thing.
but I will remember it for later.
Tromlin remembers
Okay.
that.
Oh, the votes have slowed down, but that clear winner is still winning. You're down to the last couple minutes here, so if you have anything to add to the poll, speak now. I can vote now, and I'm going to start putting stuff to move up the chat. Okay. I think yeah, I think that went well enough. There we go. That's pushed off. So we're down to the last few moments here of the poll, which I am very pleased with the current percentages. That's very amusing. All right.
Just to check, we don't have any like allies or influence with the elves, correct? haven't, like,
Not
met anyone.
specifically. You've encountered the delegation of Elvenholm that was at Ravenfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we stole
but
their
you
stuff.
haven't really. Yeah,
Yeah,
you stole
jog
from them
my
and didn't
memory.
particularly.
There was something about the forging of the sword that made us break onto their swan ship to look for answers, and I don't remember what that clue was.
No,
we
I
were
don't
total
think it.
assholes when we did, that's for sure.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you actually had a reason beyond the fact that Glorpa noticed that ship arriving as like some kind of delegate ship, and you were all very curious as to what they were doing there.
Yeah.
I think a part of that came down to the fact that that Tromlin, and I will reveal to the audio to the players, by the way, that the poll, which has now been won, was won with 69% of the vote, which is why the voting stopped.
Good.
Good job,
Excellent.
audience.
Just
You got it. You nailed
You're
it.
on theme. Can we go back in the chat?
well done, no notes. Yes, you should now be able to return to the chat.
I'm
The
back.
poll has completed. Thank you very much, audience, for your votes. Okay. So, yes, you are on your way back to the Sunshine School for Peculiar Youngsters. So you take your new friend Morgan with you to the south side of the city of Duomerdel, where many of the buildings have floating chunks of them in the air using the strange floating black rock that can be brought in from the Blackthorn Hills. And one of these big buildings full of spires and strange floating towers and weirdness is the Sunshine School for Peculiar Youngsters, where particularly weird locals can come to hone their abilities and general weirdnesses.
What was the
it's-
professor's name?
the potions
Gargamel?
master.
The the grandmaster of the school. I guess that's just his granddaughter, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Albania Sunshine.
Albania Sunshine.
Albania
is
Sunshine,
the
yes.
headmistress. But you might have
Okay.
been referring to Professor
McGargamel.
Manair Smurf McGargamel.
Right.
Nice.
Oh, right. Stevenus Schnarp.
Yep.
Savius Bumblecore.
No, Snorp.
Stavius.
Stevenus
Yeah.
Schnorp.
Lupine
Stevius Schnorp or
Werewolfman.
It was Xavius Bumbledore and his husband, Sir Ian McKellen.
Yep.
Just actually Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and Albania Sunshine is the
Yep.
headmistress, but she has a number of other instructors.
Assorted professors. Excellent.
Hmm. And I believe you were going to talk to Stevenus Schnorp about hanging on to this potion, or at least a sample of it, while you sent word to Glorpa. And I'll remind you that you can send word to Glorpa at your will, because anyone whose name has been signed in your book, Copernicus, you can
Belongs
use the
to you
sending
forever.
That's
well,
not gonna
yeah,
come
so,
back later.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So
I
I'll
trust
definitely,
Purium personally.
I think I'll definitely get a message to Glorpa asking for her help with the potion, and we'll start the process of whatever fantasy mail there is to like send her a sample of the potion to work from. And I'll get a letter, or I'll get a sending off to the Maestro, and with a request to like find a way to like weaponize or like spread this in a larger dose or whatever if we ever need to like crop dust a city or something.
Or like a herd of centaurs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we heard that the Necrogog was like messing with the centaurs.
You did indeed hear that the Necrogog has basically built himself an undead army in the Sea of Grass to the west, which is tourists live. Oh, hello.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Disconnection there with my sound. I was confused.
You're
Your sound
using
is
a
a little-
different mic now, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if your sound settings changed.
Okay, there we go. Back to the right microphone. My headset weirdly disconnected and reconnected, and I think it took over the microphone. But I should be back to the regular one.
Yeah. We can hear you normally now.
We hear you.
Good to good. Okay. So I was just going to say, I believe what you discussed last time was leaving this potion sample here at the school with the potions master and sending word to Glorpa that she could come here to get the potion. That way you don't have to try and ship it anywhere
Okay.
and risk it just being
Yeah.
stolen or lost.
We'll
or who
just
knows.
watch the skies for a bird with a winking butt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because this is a specific landmark that's not going anywhere. And then potentially Glorpa can put her head together with Professor Schnorp and potentially see if they can do anything about
Isn't he-
recreating this potion.
God, where's that drawing I did of him? He's just like this very sad-looking ratkin.
Yeah, I think I said he was a ratkin. He was a greasy-haired ratkin.
Where is that?
Well, I'll go through maybe like my list of people that I thought we could contact, and if we want to like divide up and talk about like who might want to approach some people, or if I've missed people, let me know. I'm just trying to like take an inventory of like who our allies are, or which cities we might want to hit up. So yeah, Dan Golf for sure, and I don't know if he'd be our best spokesperson to talk to Mud Hollow, because I know the mayor doesn't really like us, or the lord.
Yeah,
of it.
no.
Yeah, he's a big fucker.
Yep.
Well, Mud Hollow also doesn't have any real power, right? Like you're talking about nations. Mud Hollow's like a small town.
Right.
It's the king in Karsh that would be
you
relevant.
mean
Oh, Nord.
isn't that
Strat.
that's not Tromlin's
Nedrick-
relative though, is it?
No.
Okay, right.
No.
Good.
Nedrick Strack. He wishes. Trondheim's relatives would very much like to take precedence over the Stracks. So yeah, the city-states of the north all kind of are semi-independent, but supposedly more or less owe allegiance to the King of the North in Karsh. But there is local rulers. So for example, in Ravenfall is the Countess Nightshade, who you also were hoping to reach out to. In Rockspire, of course, are the dwarves, who largely do their own thing. Bone Reaver is the Lord of Northhold. The Vikings, who also do their own thing. But it's like that everywhere.
Well, I'm thinking if one of us wants to do ascending to Hollis to see if he can get us an in with the dwarves. So at least we have like a warm intro and maybe someone to vouch for us there.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, actually, I'll remind you that Hollis basically already extended the invitation, but then additionally, you had recently when you were investigating the information in town, you spoke to a dwarven artificer and basically talked to him about the runes on the rune sword and told him what was going on, and he packed up shop and went back to Rockspire immediately to confer with the dwarven smiths, and he also was basically, I think you told him that you would eventually be coming out that way.
Yeah.
So you have multiple contacts at Rockspire already kind of expecting you to come out there at some
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay.
And those are the main cities along our route is Ravenfall, Mud Hollow, Wizard's Vale, because we're telling Dangolf, and then Rockspire.
And do we think that contacting Don Garveldo or anyone in Abisha would be worth it? Or like, does El Gato have an army? I know he's not particularly loyal to us, but like he seems like he's on the side of good and non-extinction of everyone on the continent, and maybe he'd be like someone we could send a message to.
A good point.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have, he seems to sort of show up and like write injustices kind of randomly.
Yeah.
But political contacts like Don Garveldo, and remember that the Maestro had other contacts as well, right? There were 3 that you were told about potentially being able to make contact with. And the whole planting of the little spy bugs that you were given by the Maestro was clearly intended for some sort of political
machination
purpose.
Yeah.
So you've got contacts in the political system, in Ibisha, and that's probably through Don Garveldo is probably your best bet.
Okay, well then I think I'll send a sending to Don Garveldo and just say like we have found that very dark forces are afoot and are colluding across the continent, and we think that a great threat is rising that may require many nations to unite in defense. If you would be ready to help us in any way, please let us know how we could call upon you for that. And I'll send.
Sounds like more than 20 words to me, but that's okay.
Hand wave.
Yeah.
Hand wave. You could send a couple.
And then the Maestro, I'll just tell him everything. Like at some point, if we can set up a conversation, I'll just like download him on everything that's happening. I trust him. and get his take. But otherwise, yeah, I think we'd continue on our route. Anyone else have any like suggestions for who we should call on or?
Well, you'll get a response from Don Garveldo
Ooh.
fairly quickly. Obviously, you have like a conversation with the maestro, but Don Garveldo will respond and say, things are a little tense around here. Sorry, I'm just counting my words to make sure this works. Ibisha is fighting on two fronts, both east and west, these days. That's 19, but he doesn't need the last one, so it's all good.
I leave him.
Bye.
Or he'll use the last one to go. He'll use the last one to go.
Nice.
Perfect.
Fop it up. Very good.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll count him out for now. Yeah. Then I guess we can start planning our route.
Looking for a carriage. Right?
We were just gonna walk. Unless you want to ride some dead horses.
Dead?
Yeah, they're like demons.
Just got a carriage.
Well, undead.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
I don't know.
Not sure of the semantics about that, really. I pretty much just get on whatever horrible blood monstrosity Bernie
It's
summons
true.
and assume it'll be fine.
Would a blood carriage suffice?
Yeah, we got a blood carriage sometimes.
A fair amount of blood, though. You made a blood carriage before because you had some dead giants.
I
Yeah.
mean
True.
this with, like, no offense. But are you guys, like, broke? Or something?
I owe the mob a bunch of money.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah.
Theoretically.
Right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know how
Should be
that
fun.
goes.
Like, would renting a carriage be out of your budget? Or...
This has literally never occurred to Fetid as something that you could do, so my mind is just completely blown.
Is purchasing, like, feeling like it might be out of your range? Like, maybe...
Do we have money? I'm like digging
I
through my
always have
pockets.
some, like, Purdy turns out his pockets. He always has like a few coins, like a
Mhm.
bit of traveling money, and mostly hard candy.
Yeah.
How much would this get us?
Well, actually, that's an interesting point, because Bernie, you actually have the great wealth background,
Oh,
so
right.
you probably have. When
I
you
think
turn out
we-
your pockets and have some travel money,
Yeah.
it probably includes like a couple of like rough cut gemstones.
This
and
credit card is
some,
made
like,
of platinum. Is that good?
you know,
I
a
do-
bag
I-
of like gold
Will this
coins.
do?
Like
I
a
think we
random
had-
mixture of like nearly
yeah.
worthless copper coins and like incredibly valuable gold coins. Like
I
Like,
think
just
we had
like
said that like
loose
Purdy has like getting around money. We like, I think we cranked it down from what the thing is actually supposed to be to like, yeah, he's just always
Well,
had like enough money to like lodge and
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
but like that has to add up, right? So like
Yeah.
to carry it around, you have like a small amount
Yeah.
of fairly valuable
Yeah.
coin.
Also, you
Yeah,
barely
yeah,
used any of that money
Oh,
so
yeah,
far
we-
the last 2 years. So
We don't
like,
buy things.
I would be happy to invest in a carriage for the group. We do so much traveling. I think it would be nice. We break all our nice things, so please no one get attached. But
Yeah. That was actually going to be what I said.
Yeah.
Things tend to go wrong around us for whatever reason.
and Purdy's just gonna straight give Morgan like a pile of money to go buy a carriage.
Morgan will do so, and Morgan will also get a discount.
Nice.
Like
Good.
like a handful of just the stuff that was in his pocket. So like it includes some buttons and some hard candies, and some copper coins, but
Yeah,
also like a couple
gem.
of gems and
Finger bones.
yeah, a live spider
Good.
and a bunch of gold coins.
Honestly,
I
this
would
is
like
Grandbaby.
more than you need to buy
Yeah.
a carriage.
in Dwimmerdale. That could be currency. Just a cursed finger bone. Like, yeah,
I just-
great.
I lay out a little. I take it, but I also kind of drop it. Just sorry, just a moment. And I take out a little handkerchief, and I just like sweep it into there, and then I just like I'll be like, I'll be back, and she'll go and seek out a good deal on a carriage. She'll look at the group and to the little four-legged guy and be like, you seem to know your way around like the caves and stuff. Do you like? I'm not like an animal person. I don't mean it like that. Obviously. But like purchasing a non-sentient animal, like I don't know what's like a good animal, like a hardy. I don't know if they're strong. Could you like assess that if I were to get into like a negotiation, and that sort of thing?
I like that she's talking to Fetid and it didn't register with Jeff because you said the little four-legged guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can certainly, like, if I come with you, I can talk to whatever animals we're considering and see how they're doing, and I'm sure I can evaluate one properly.
I have a feeling that Fetid's gonna pick a horse that's like fun to hang out with, as opposed to like strong
Correct.
or obedient. I think that's
Look how
great.
big the dick this one has.
So can I just assume that you guys all go out to sort of prepare for the journey?
Yeah.
Because you'll want to like pick up food supplies. Like you kind of came here with whatever you were holding at the time through a magic travel circle. So
Yeah.
And Ernie, who does not eat or sleep and does not spend his like wealth, and like it just never occurs to him to. I think at some point we realize like maybe people do want things that I could help pay for, and I think I'll just like hand everyone some money for like if you need some stuff, don't spend it all in one place, penny candy, etc. But like the piles are not even. You guys may want to even out the piles of money because I'm not like counting what's.
No, it's just Grandpa's pocket money.
Yeah.
What's buttons and what's currency.
Everything comes with like a card for like a birthday you had 5 months ago.
Yeah, good.
It's hard to keep track of calendar days out there.
It doesn't even have a date. It's just like he puts the coins inside of a this happy birthday, Grandpa. Yeah. And they're all just he's got a stack of them. He just pulls them out.
Yeah.
They're just
time passes so fast. It's always somebody's birthday.
Yeah. Excellent. So you guys go out to the market and get ready to go do a little shopping. And to begin with, you're all kind of in the same area because you're not going to kind of really spread to the four winds. You're just kind of like looking around. And most of the supplies you want are sort of in the same area. And as you're shopping and looking over, primarily, actually, let's do a little bit of this. Morgan, you're looking at carriages. There's a wide range. You might be tempted by some of the fancier looking ones, but there's also some like more utilitarian ones. So you can kind of, pick and choose. Everything is kind of
spooky.
Like goth themed. Yeah. Everything looks like it wouldn't be out of place if the Addams family was being chauffeured in it.
Good.
They all have like little gothic curtains and spires on them and unnecessary gothic panels.
Is there one with spiders?
Nice.
I mean, they all have some spiders, varying degrees of spiders in them.
I guess prioritizing like a comfy place to sleep in one. Maybe one that has like a little separate canopy area so that her space does not get disgusting.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna want to sleep as far away from me as you can.
Like, I'm thinking like those like trailers that have like the one little compartment that goes like above the truck canopy, and then there's like a little bed there. One that has like one of those. No offense.
I mean, I can also just like sleep on the roof of whatever. I'm used to it.
But yeah, it's gonna have to go pretty far. So unfortunately, that's a secondary desire.
And Fetid, you're doing some speak with animals on some of the local horses.
Good.
And the local horses are all surprisingly inured to some, like, you know how horses will basically freak out if anything happens ever.
Yeah.
But all of these horses are like very used to Dwimmerdell, so like, you know, they'll freak out like, you know, enormously if like a gate moves, but like, you know, when a spider goes skittering by, they don't pay it any attention, or when like
Swarm of bats, whatever.
yeah, or a glowing green person floats near them, you know, they're as likely to react as if anybody goes near them. It's just, the glowing green thing is just normal. But they're all pretty laid back. These horses are all very tamed cart horses, so they're all sort of like, oh, how's it going? I like oats.
I
Do
like
you
oats
have any
too.
oats?
So much in common.
Do you have a carrot? I like carrots.
These horses are so smart, you guys. You would not believe it. These are
Aw.
the smartest horses I've ever talked to.
Oh, awesome. Hey, horse.
That one's big. Does it have a carrot?
Maybe. Are
Of
you
course it-
healthy? I'm like I'm poking and prodding at these horses to determine.
Yeah, make me an animal handling roll, just sort of general, giving the baseline of like how
Yeah.
well you make selections.
Does
Looking at
this
its
horse
hoof.
have the right number of legs?
Yeah. Well, hopefully you roll higher than that.
Well, that's a 1, so I'm not sure how many
Yeah,
legs
you're-
a horse is supposed to have.
Yeah, you notice that a lot of these horses have like, you know, like scabby rashes on parts of their legs, but you get very concerned briefly, and then you note that there's no purple fungus, and you're like, oh, okay, they're great.
Okay, that's
He's
fine.
great.
Good.
That'll be
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
It's
I mean,
probably
everyone
some other
has.
horse wasting
Yeah, everyone
disease.
has rashes in the
That's
sewers,
fine.
so
Yeah.
it's
Rash
normal.
just means you're alive.
Oh my god. Perfect.
That's something.
Yep.
And the rest of you, in the meantime, are probably going through, like, looking at supplies and starting to purchase, like, some food for a long journey, stuff that'll keep.
Actually, can I pull Oogna aside and cast a lesser
Yeah.
restoration?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because in case we were infected,
I mean, I
something.
got that bite on the ankle. Yeah.
I was thinking more along the vampire range. but-
Yeah, that's true.
Also true.
Yeah, you're not 100% sure. Like, you're not very trained in the arcana and religious stuff of this, but, like, doesn't hurt. You have no idea if that would actually work.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
But, like, it's, you know,
I mean, it can't hurt. It's right there in the
Nope.
spell, right?
exactly.
Yeah, it removes a condition. So,
Cool.
So, fingers crossed.
You do a prayer, and I go thanks, bud.
yeah.
Feel all tingly for a minute.
And so while you're out here doing your shopping, there's a sudden crack like thunder, and a black-robed figure, armored but with like a black robe under. So there's still like the hood and the sleeve, but then there's also a black enameled breastplate with glowing purple runes on it. Appears out of nowhere with this kaboom, and like all the people in the market basically jump like. This figure has got a shield with that looks more ceremonial than useful. It's got like insignia on it, like a ceremonial shield, and a spear. They look like a creepy Dwimmerdell version of like a beefeater, right? Except like with a ridiculous cowl instead of a ridiculous bearskin. And this apparition that has appeared will point with a partial dip of the spear at you, Copernicus, and gesture a little bit to any of your friends who are close by, and says, uh, uh, "Sunshine, you are summoned.
Oh, good.
You shall appear before the shrouded ones."
Maybe it's like a game show.
Those were the guys that we had teleport us? No, they were the
No,
leaders of the city, of that
the
mysterious leaders of that
shrouded
city.
ones. The shrouded ones are the council of weird, mysterious, masked mages that run the city of Dormerdel. So, unlike all the other northern cities,
Right.
most of the northern cities have single rulers. They're very monarchic type style.
Yeah.
But there are exceptions, right? Direwind has like an elected merchant lord from the merchant council. There's a similar kind of pseudo-elected pirate lord of the city of Evermere.
Lord of the
And-
Dance.
Yep. That's what they call Bone Reaver when he's not looking, when he's not around. They say, "Hey, he's Lord of the Dance." Except the dance is slaughter.
Good. Excellent.
But in Dwimmerdell, it's a bunch of creepy mages known as the Shrouded Ones.
And what business does the Council of Shrouded Ones have with but a weary old traveler and his friends?
It is not my place to say. You are summoned. They have questions for you. You will come with me, or you and your friends will come with me.
And they helped us. We kind of have to.
All right,
Okay.
friends. Off we go to the scary, shrouded, mysterious, faceless wizards, who I'm sure have our best interests at heart.
It will probably be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be great.
The various market people who hear this the summoner are like hiding behind their stalls and otherwise trying to avoid looking too closely. Definitely trying not to stand near you guys.
Do you think we
The
need to
horses
dress up
don't seem to
fancy or
notice.
anything?
Oh, sorry? I
Do we need to dress up fancy or anything, or should we just go like
No,
as is?
I don't think they care about how we look.
Great. Sure hope they don't care about how we smell.
I
I
don't know if
mean,
they can smell through the masks.
Even better.
oh,
All right, then.
Let's
I think we'll follow this apparating emissary.
The emissary, as you sort of start coming towards the emissary, turns as though to lead you in a particular direction, takes 2 steps, and a portal appears of swirling purple and green energy hovering in the air, and he strides through it, clearly expecting you to follow.
I'm gonna do a quick little arcana on it just to make sure there's no like obvious trap thing waiting for us, or investigation on the
enter a sphere of annihilation.
Yeah, great.
Which skill would you like? Would
What are
Arcana
you
be
trying
like-
to determine?
Just
Are
like
you trying...
make sure that there's not like an obvious trap that I can
Okay.
read.
So,
off of
so
this.
that would be investigation.
That this spell is legit.
15.
You don't, like you've seen teleportation circles and other types of spells meant for moving people around. You don't see any, like the guy walked through it. You don't see anything through the portal that would indicate that it's like actually a demon's mouth, or that there's like a bunch of people lurking on the edges of it with spears.
All right.
So-
I'll go first. Then I'll stick a hand back through if it's safe and just wave people in.
Cool.
You find yourself in a stone chamber, like just in a building, and kind of like a huge foyer or a waiting area. There's a great big sort of heavy oaken double door at one side, and then there's like a lot of sort of standing around room, decorative rugs on the floor, tapestries on the walls. And he's continuing to lead, like towards the double doors. as though you were just walking down like he was like, follow me, and just walk down the street. It
Great.
just happens that the street goes through a portal into another part of the city.
Cool.
Totally normal. It's fine.
Yep.
We'll follow
So
along.
you all follow through.
We'll be
thought
back
the
for the
point of
horses
magic-
and carriage.
Yeah. I thought the point of magic was to shamefully hide it as a dark secret because you get it from someone that you should never have been in contact or concert with at the beginning. I didn't know you could just do it in public. What the heck?
Can you do that in public? Ew.
Yeah.
I mean, you have been in Dormerdale long enough to have noticed the
Yeah.
floating buildings and people glowing
Yeah,
casually.
it's pretty magic-y here.
Casual glowing. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I will follow and,
Yeah.
and beckon my companions along, and yeah, I think Fernie will try to take this somewhat seriously. So he might and he rarely does a serious. He's usually I think he might actually have a slightly semi-serious expression here. Okay, maybe this is a good time to show some
Yeah.
respect and not fuck around. But also,
Straighten my collar.
always time to fuck around.
Yeah.
I haven't
the
tried to pickpocket this guy yet, so that's
Great.
my exercise in restraint.
Good.
Amazing. Appreciate it.
Okay, so he leads you to this big double door, which just opens of its own accord as he approaches. And on the other side, sorry.
I think I'm gonna have my magic eyeballs. I know I always have them up, but I think I'm gonna especially be paying attention to,
Yeah.
especially fields
I
that
mean-
affect magic. If they have things here that contort magic and limit our ability to do things if things go down, that would be nice.
Yeah, it's pretty magic-y here in general. So you're getting a whole lot of signal. The doors that just open on their own are magical doors. They seem to be permanently animated. So is a lot of stuff in this place. You are aware of where this is in the city. This is the council chambers. There's a sizable building near the center of Dormerdale. It's not like a giant keep or a spire like in Ravenfall or Karsh. It's kind of more like an administrative complex. But in the central part of that complex is the council chambers and the audience chambers. And so you're being led into a space that is ringed with stone bleachers, basically, or stone seating, like a Roman forum, where public hearings and things like that could be held, and people of varying importance in the city can come and observe. There's only a couple of people in here. There's a handful of people in the seats. There's an old gnarled-looking wizard with just pure white beard and bald head, who's kind of sitting like this and snoring on one bleacher. There's a small group of twisted looking, very very stocky goblins with leather caps and some kind of guild insignia on them, muttering together and whispering in one corner of the room. There's general city business or something going on here, but nothing super exciting because it hasn't drawn a crowd. But also at the front of this huge room is the dais for addressing, and it has the ring of 7 seats upon which are seated the Shrouded Ones. They are all variously more or less human-sized figures, completely shrouded in black robes, with hands inside their sleeves, and under their cowls you can see these nearly featureless masks made of black enameled metal, much like the breastplate that the guard is wearing. There's a number of guards of the same look of the summoner, spaced around the outer perimeter of the room and at the doors on either side, just standing, doing that whole thing where you're not sure if they're a statue or alive, and until an American tourist goes over and tries to poke them, prod them, and then they shriek in their face. That whole thing.
Can I do an Arcana check to find out if there's any obvious countermeasures that would prevent me from X-ray eyeing who was underneath the robes. Because I'm certain one of these is
Oh.
2 halflings in 1 robe. I'm just something.
Good.
I know it's either 2 halflings or 2 gnomes in a robe somewhere, and I want to find out where.
Two Gnomes in a Robe Somewhere is the title of my last sex tape, actually.
Great title. I'm sure a phenomenal tape.
Well, 2 things. One, you already know that the masks are magical that you're looking at because you've already got your detect magic constant going up. Secondly, one of them is visibly smaller than the others. I just was sort of generally saying they're all like medium-sized creatures, generally humanoid. Like there's definitely one of them isn't a centaur or something,
Right.
or like a giant.
dragonborn.
It could be a dragonborn.
Yeah.
They would fit under there.
Cool.
Not necessarily a winged dragonborn. That would possibly be obvious, but they're just fully shrouded humanoid figures with masks. So you don't know what the nature of the magic is on those masks. You would have to try to find out.
I, Peter, have ADHD, and Perny does not. Can someone please remind me to do an X-ray blast before I leave? I don't want to do it at the beginning in case it like sets the wrong tone, but I desperately want to do it before I go, and I have a feeling I'm going to forget
Sounds
by
good.
the time we're done the scene. Please
I will
remind me.
keep that in my mind.
Thank you.
Okay, and also this whole room has magic on it. Again, with detect magic, you don't get a lot of specifics. You would imagine that if this is a place where important business is ever done, that there's probably some kind of abjuration against scrying or something on the whole place. That would just seem to make the most sense. You know, something to prevent people from teleporting directly into this chamber and like assassinating the city leaders.
I'm gonna try and stealthily communicate with Copernicus and my other satyr bud using Slut Cant. Beware of Circle of Truth.
So, so Copernicus, I think, is going to be completely oblivious to that.
What kind of roll can I make to try and get the gist?
Well, here's the thing. The reason that Morgan thinks that you can be communicating this way is because you used comprehend languages before, but you do not currently have that running.
Cool.
So she's
She
just
just
making
makes a
some
pass
weird
at
hand
you.
gestures.
Yeah.
But
Can I make it?
Weird, vaguely suggestive hand gestures.
I
Make
promise my
me-
insight is bad. Can I make a check with it?
No, I would like you to make a perception roll with disadvantage because you're busy examining everything magically and using
Fair.
your crazy vision tricks. So this is to determine if you even notice that this attempt to communicate with you is being made.
That's an
Tromlin,
8.
yeah, it doesn't even register. Morgan is doing one of those like things that that normal living humans do, where they have social norms and niceties and like
That's
act like they're in company with other people, and you just sort of ignore it like you usually do. Whereas Tromlin, on the other hand, you absolutely notice that Morgan is trying to get your attention. You have Thieves' Cant, for example, which is a similar gesture-based and secret language. And you, as a linguist, I believe,
A cunning
have
linguist.
yes.
Cunning linguist. La la la.
Get to roll intelligence plus your proficiency bonus, which is a total of +4 to attempt to interpret what is being said to you
Alright.
in any language, including this one.
Can I spend an inspiration?
You sure can.
Right, that was a 1. I'd rather not use it. Okay,
Yeah,
there
you're
we go. That's a
full.
21. It's a 21.
Nice.
Okay. Well, yes, in fact, you you do in fact pick up on the gist quite well. So, what are you trying to say, Morgan?
I'll be like, we're in a fairly legal space, so be wary of zone of truth or similar tricks.
Yeah. I just respond with an affirmative, like on the nose. Like, I tap my nose. Okay. I will look to Perny, who I'm sure does not understand what was just happening.
Yeah, well, you can. He appears to be looking at things that you can't see, gazing around the room at random spots in the air.
I will tap him on the shoulder and whisper in his ear, "Be mindful, there might be zones of truth active."
I will
Does-
nod and
But
So you are led to a circle, a stone circle that's slightly raised, not as high as the dais, but just sort of in the nature of a like an area in front of like an audience area where someone would be brought to stand before the curved dais that contains the seats of the shrouded ones, and you are, brought forward and guided to stand in that circle and face the group of the shrouded ones. As you do so, they will sort of basically all look towards the central one. There's 7 seats are set up where there is one sort of at the forefront, and that one appears to do the speaking for them. They all look to that individual who intones in a weird, like police distorted voice, like a witness protection voice, and goes and says, "Copernicus, sunshine, you and your friends have been brought here because the scryers have determined strange events occurring beneath our city that you have been associated with. You will
yes.
explain yourself
yes,
to
you're
this
welcome.
council."
I was wondering when we would be offered our reward. We cleared out the vampire Illithid that was infesting your sewers, along with his monstrous horde of intellect devourers, which I suppose you weren't too concerned about because they were only hurting Quaggles. Is that about right?
Oh shit!
Okay.
Perny,
I would like you to
some
make a
diplomacy.
charisma. I'd like you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh dear.
I would like to assist if possible.
That does not. This is a saving throw, so that's not possible.
I'm not
In
aware of
fact,
any of this going
just-
I'll
on.
take the charisma
Just so-
hit for him.
Just so I have this, I'd like everyone to make a charisma saving throw, just so I've got this already sorted.
I'm great at that.
So, like,
Oh, actually, that didn't do terrible. 17.
Do I have inspiration?
Or
16.
plus, whatever.
Never
Oh.
mind. I am gonna use inspiration.
All
Lost
right.
inspiration. Mark it down, please. Bank is empty. And I rolled a worse number. So it's gonna be the
No.
13. It's gonna be the 13.
Okay.
Uh, 4 plus 8.
So 12?
And I want to, I think, use luck.
Reroll?
Roll initiative.
All right. So
How did I roll the best out of this?
it had to happen sometime.
I guess.
So go ahead and make that reroll, and everybody else.
Is that
and
would that be a failed roll? Because I have Tides of Chaos, which lets me reroll a failed roll. So I can
Yes,
use
and
that.
use that one automatically,
Okay.
and I will roll on the wild surge table.
Good.
Oh
That is
my
your
god.
sort
8 plus 8, 16.
Okay. 46. And just gonna roll it. Oof. Okay, so 17, 16, and what else was rolled?
4.
Good. Excellent.
Good, good.
Oof.
It'll be fine.
I'm sure.
Already really coming in
Copernicus.
strong here.
Oh yeah. We're so
Remind
charismatic.
me your total, Copernicus. I just know it was bad. I don't remember what it was.
Well, my it was 6 on the die with inspiration for a 13. Or no, for a 13.
Hey, Mare.
And then
That
That
Randy.
wasn't horrible.
Good boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi.
And Randy, what was yours?
16.
Okay. So only Oogna made it.
Oh no.
Um,
What?
Everybody else is unable to lie.
Oh no.
That does not mean you have to answer any question that is put to you, but when your character speaks, you can't deliberately lie.
I'm
You
the
can
one
say
who
something
made it.
that you believe to be true that isn't. The only person who can lie is the
I'm
person
too
who is
dumb
least
to
likely
lie.
to think about it.
I'm
Which
so
is-
I'm way too dumb to lie.
I
Hilarious.
also love how
So
like
why do we want to
kinda-
allow them?
Morgan's like, everybody watch out for Circle of Truth, and we're all like, yeah, no, don't worry, we got it. We all walk
Got
in,
it.
boing.
Anyway,
Directly
Everybody
into a
hit,
zone of truth.
everybody fails.
Just
However, that all said, I don't think anything you said in that was a
Nope.
lie.
Oh no, yeah, Purdy
No.
was pretty.
Super true.
Maybe
I don't-
actually you sort of mutter at the end of that sentence. You're like, well, maybe I wasn't actually expecting a reward, but or something
Yeah.
like that. But other than that,
But a thank you would have been nice.
Yeah.
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 just for clarification
which
on the
is
way
true.
Zone of Truth works.
Yep.
When you speak, you are compelled to tell the truth only. Are
Yep.
we aware that we are under Zone of Truth already? Like the failed saving throw is the effect on us, but are we aware of that effect?
No.
All right, good.
Ooh. It's all subtle here.
The caster is aware of who has been unaffected.
Yeah.
So the caster, whoever cast this Zone of Truth, knows that Oogna made the saving throw.
Right. There's a very strong-willed orc for some reason. Weird.
Are they aware of
Yeah.
how long? Is there a way to get out of Zone of Truth? Would I know that? I don't have it, but it's definitely something I'm
You
aware of.
wouldn't know. You wouldn't
Okay.
know enough about it. You know that it exists.
Yeah.
But even though you're not aware you're in a zone of truth, you can still attempt to be evasive. Like if your character, if
Yeah.
the thing is you're like, oh, I don't want to, like you cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
All right.
That is the specific
Yeah.
effect. Okay. Oh, sorry. It does say an affected creature is aware of the spell. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
But even if you weren't, like, if you know what you intend to say, and if you're like, well, I don't want to talk about that, then you wouldn't, right? Like
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't matter. It's not like it's not a compulsion to speak a true thing. It's you can't lie while you're in this space.
Gotcha.
I can handle that.
That's fine.
Yeah. It is particularly nefarious though if you combine it with a compulsion spell.
Yep.
Because if you use a compulsion spell and tell someone, answer my question, they have to answer your question and they have to do it truthfully, which is... But it doesn't sound at this point, like this isn't coming
None of us
across
are trying
at
to
this
lie.
stage. Well, this isn't
Yeah.
coming across as like a... you've just been asked to explain yourself, right?
Yeah.
This isn't like a questioning. You haven't been asked any questions. You just said explain yourself. So let's pick that up. So there is an explosion of murmuring throughout the limited crowd that is here in response to that, and the a couple of the individual shrouds kind of stiffen in their seats and look to the others. You, Copernicus, suddenly realize from their posture and from the magic knowledge that you have, when they look to each other like this, they're conversing. They have some kind of magic Perny net type of deal going on, so that they can talk amongst themselves. Because the one speaker kind of holds a hand up to the one who has been who's sort of tried to get his attention on the side, and he says, vampires, have you evidence of these claims that you make.
Beyond
There's a-
one of our friends being bitten by one?
Yeah, I got some bite marks. I'm like start pulling up my sleeves, trying to look at my
But
collar.
You don't.
Yeah,
because
because I
you've
got
been fully
healed.
healed.
Yeah. Oh no, it's gone. We did a
You can find
healing thing.
Fought a vampiric being. Don't act ignorant to the spell that has been cast. We have said that we fought a vampiric being, and you know that is the truth.
A good
He,
point.
he holds up a hand to you and says, I was speaking to Copernicus Sunshine. I am well aware of the nature of our spells. That fact that you believe you fought a vampiric being does not constitute evidence of infestations of the undead.
If you
Copernicus
summoned me
Sunshine,
here-
can you please speak to what it is that you have experienced in the
I
Underdark?
can, but I would ask that you treat my companions with respect because they were as much as part of conquering the threat as I was. And anyone who speaks here among us speaks for me as well. But we encountered a halfling who seemed to have been corrupted by both vampirism and some kind of illithid intelligence. As for proof, you can find his ashes and the remains of his library down in the bottom of the tunnels. Our guide here, and I'll point to Fetid, hoping that he's not in the middle of like scratching himself or something. Gross.
Absolutely is.
No,
Absolutely.
Once you dropped the Quaggle diss, you got my full attention.
Can draw you a map, and I'm sure that some of the Quaggles would be willing to escort a delegate of yours to a certain distance, but I would say that they've already put their lives on the line in protection of the city by trying to contain the threat with what resources they had. So I'd ask that you do not lean too kindly on their hospitality.
Let there be no misunderstanding, Copernicus Sunshine. Accusations have been laid against you and your companions that suggest you have brought magical dangers to the Underdark of the city of Dwemer.
I just
And
start
this-
laughing at this.
You have been brought forward to answer for this because of your connection to...
for this thing that we heard.
Who accuses us?
Silence! At which point a silence spell is cast
Ooh.
on that
Is there a
area.
saving throw? Or is there a saving throw?
Yeah, I thought there was, but let me just quickly double check. Do you know there is no saving throw?
Mm.
I start making rude hand
I
gestures.
cast a. I silently cast. I forgot the name of my own spell because I'm
Oh,
so
no.
flustered. Sorry.
I'm just pulling it up. I'm pulling
Yeah.
up your spell list so I can figure out what you're referring to.
Silvery barbs.
Ooh.
Shit.
I spend a
that-
spell
that
point
won't-
to counter the casting of.
Silvery barbs
silence.
won't counter the spell, I don't think.
Oh, question.
It makes them re-roll the attack though.
Yeah, there's no roll.
Yeah,
There's
just,
no
just
roll
do
for
the
the
spell.
spelling. I'll use a counter spell to burn one of their spell slots. I get mine back. Theirs are for the day.
Good. Good.
I'll
Are
drop a
you
counter
sure?
spell.
You're
Are
like,
you sure you want
no.
a counter spell?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Despite
Yeah.
these
I
assholes.
think
You're sure?
I think
All right,
I
let's
think
make
the
the roll.
attitude has been chosen.
They are
Yeah.
they are
Alright.
jerks.
Yeah.
Level
these
4
guys.
counter spell. What level did they cast silence at?
They would just cast it at the basic, which is second.
Okay, so that's auto counter spell.
Yeah.
then.
We're not even worth a third level spell slot to these
But
jerks.
I will.
Okay.
We will stay quiet because I don't want
Well,
anyone in the
you-
stands to
you
know that we're
can't
being
make-
excellent.
You can't make the rest of them stay silent. I want to
That's
know
true.
if anybody is continuing to speak.
No, I'm just flipping birds.
I will hear them out, but if I think they're being assholes, I will speak up.
Yeah, same. I shoot the glance at Trauma
So-
that's like, I'm getting angry, but I'll hold back.
So just
I
for an
just
order
rolled
of
a
events,
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
says silence, and the spell is cast but countered, everyone stops speaking anyway.
Yeah.
Is the point? Okay.
I will. Yeah.
Just so I know.
Yeah.
So, if you ask
Uh,
questions, be prepared for answers.
Are you saying that?
Yeah.
He didn't cast, zone of politeness.
No, but he will say, if there are further disruptions, we will clear this chamber.
Feeling a
Which
lot
a
like
number.
this is feeling a lot like the recent TikTok trial. Very much. Are we gonna get asked how Zone of Truth works by them? Wait, am I in? If I cast the Zone of Truth, am I in the Zone of Truth? Are there like particles going through the air?
Yeah.
At his announcement that the chamber would be potentially cleared, a number of the audience people are going to get up nervously and leave.
But bye.
Cowards.
And he will continue to speak. So let me know if anyone's speaking over him. And as he was saying, you have been accused of bringing magical danger to this city. You are only here because of your family connection to one of the great schools. You have been given the opportunity to speak to these accusations. If your statement is simply that you have no response to the accusations, then we will move forward with prosecution. Is this clear?
We have not heard what the accusations are, other than vaguely. Quite frankly, sir, danger is my middle name. You would need to substantiate some kind of detail to this claim for me to be able to refute it. But yes, I think we are a dangerous group. But what do you mean by we have brought danger?
At this point, actually, Trauma will turn to Raven and mutter, "Didn't you get some of the vampires' books?"
It doesn't seem though that they're interested in the truth, despite the spells they're casting.
Evidence is evidence. It's something.
We have some of the library that belonged to the Illithid that we might be willing to produce documents to show you. But it would seem that if you're going in with the assumption that we are dangerous, then you would simply take that as confirmation that somehow it was our library. So I'm not really. I think I need more information from you before I know what to refute. I think we all do.
Also, your robes are stupid.
I mean, not wrong, but
You have been accused of bringing dark magics into this city.
Oh, dark
You have
magic.
been-
Here, the place with all the spiders and bats and undead.
I hold up
shit.
a hand to our kobold friend, like, let's hear it first.
This is like literally Fetid's like I can't remember what you have a flaw specifically.
I hate authority.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good.
to vengeance versus urban planning.
Yeah.
I will give you like a hard candy in the hopes that it takes you it buys us like 30 seconds.
And I just swallow it whole.
Wrappers on.
If I need to, I'll put like a hand over your little muzzle. Just be like,
Like the cartoon alligator.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
lips at the end are still talking, even though you've got your
Mhm.
fist closed.
But I don't look happy about it, and I'm glaring at the shrouds the entire time.
The detection of dark magics upon your person has been the substantiation to bring you forward. If you are claiming that these dark magics were discovered in the sewers beneath the city as a danger to the city that you have been combating, that is a claim that can be investigated. So
sounds like
I would
I'm gonna
recommend
roll.
that I would recommend that you produce these dark magics now.
I
Oh,
think
he's talking about your
What
new
dark
friend, isn't he?
magics?
I'm gonna roll persuasion.
Does Copernicus understand what he's asking, or should I give you a roll?
Because you're
I
full of
have-
dark magic, just on your
Yes.
own.
Well, I want to hear what Morgan's doing first.
Just
Okay.
chock a block with dark magic.
I will say, Peter, that you do hear a whisper in the back of your mind saying, "Show them nothing."
Interesting.
And
I'll
Raven,
show
what are you
you
trying
this.
Roll a
I'll show you both, huh?
I want to roll a persuasion. I want to use a inspiration to roll a different dice because that was a 2. My goal is to tell them, in fact, no, we do not have dark magic. We are not carrying dark magic, and I would challenge you to produce proof that we are holding dark magic.
So this would be like a fast talk, but make me an Arcana check first.
I know there's not dark magic. That's what I'm keying in on, being under the truth spell. But Arcana 14 plus 6.
Oh, plus 6. Oh yeah, 30, 20. That's quite good.
Woo.
You wonder if any of the objects that have been brought away from the Quaggillithid might be detectable. Particularly, you are aware that Copernicus has a bunch of pages from a book that was making him do bad things that he presumably still has on his person. So you can make a fast talk, but you realize that this group of mages probably, like, if they can literally detect, if it's like they can see the thing, the fast talk, the shell game only works when you can't actually see what's under the shells, right?
Yeah.
Persuasion, not even fast talk.
Well, but it's like fast talking is like a subcategory of persuasion,
Yeah.
right? But like persuading them that that there is no dark magic because the thing that they can detect as dark magic isn't there is a lot harder thing to pull off.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying you couldn't do it, because you do happen to have an illusion gem with you.
Ooh.
Some kind of undisclosed illusion power. But it seems to you that that's probably not like there are other fast talk or persuasive things you could, like you could try to back up this whole, oh no we there was dark magic that rubbed off on us because we fought a vampire Quaggillithid.
Yeah.
Or like but like just trying to convince them that something that they probably can detect isn't there will be rough, like very rough.
Could I maybe instead use a persuasion to make it so that we're on better bargaining grounds?
You can try to charm, basically. You can try to sort of be like, look, we've got off on the wrong foot, and our little friend here, his people have been persecuted by city rulers for a long time, or you can decide what tack you take here, but yeah, you can certainly try to be charming, basically.
I'll do that because I can't personally say I even know out of character what the fuck is going on with the items that they have.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is true for most of you guys.
We've
You
not
don't
identified
particularly
any
know
of
what's going on
this.
with these books. Only Copernicus has had the dark voice in his head, for example.
All right, that is a persuasion or performance.
Persuasion will do.
All right.
And I'll just roll an insight to kind of like.
That's 18. I don't know if any of these other things.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
So your persuasion is +8, so that's a 26. And since you're kind of planning this, like you're setting this up.
Oh no, it's an 8. Sorry, my roll is an 8, so it's only a
so it's a 16. Okay, I thought I heard 18.
No, sorry, I was adding them ahead of you. I don't think I have anything else that can add to that.
Well, you could guidance yourself before you attempt
Yeah.
it with a plus a D4. See if you can do much better.
I will do that.
Get over a threshold.
However, I have rolled a 17 on the die, so I'm probably
Ooh.
going to have an insight that beats that.
Oh, it's only
Which
a
isn't
plus
like,
one.
yeah. So you kind of do some eyelash batting, and you can't see their faces, so you can't tell if it's working, and you're just kind of like, come on. But what are you doing, Copernicus? Now that it has occurred to you that you are carrying pages of the dark tome that made the Quaggillithid that like to talk to you in your head.
So I'm in a zone of truth.
And they are telling you that you should tell them nothing, or show them
Okay.
nothing.
Is there any actual compulsion that I'm feeling to not betray the voice that's telling me not to betray it? Like, is it actually exerting any kind of influence on me?
It's trying. I'm just trying to decide if like the magical defenses here have any effect on it. Probably not specifically, because there is no like full on. You can't use your magic here.
I'm gonna think, and this is like a very like.
Make me a saving throw just to figure out how extensive this compulsion is.
Sure. What kind of saving throw?
A wisdom saving throw.
That's a 15. What I'm gonna do is say to this thing in my head. I'm not gonna say this out loud. If you have a power that is worth jeopardizing myself and my friends for, then please get me out of this zone of truth without them knowing about it.
Ooh, bargaining.
I'm gonna think that, and I'm gonna wait a minute. While I guess Perny buys time by just like kind of gasping at the accusation.
How could you say such a thing?
Yeah, and I'll just elaborate that they're specifically calling this dark magic like a prescribed magic. So roll me the saving throw first of all.
I rolled a 15 on the wisdom saving throw.
Total or on the die?
Yeah, total. Yeah.
Okay. This is quite some range for this power to be able to overcome the shrouded ones of Dwimmerdale. So I don't know that how far it
I
can
know
do
what I'm
what's
worth.
gonna
If
do.
I'm not worth the effort from this dark
give it
influence,
up.
then you know what? I got other offers.
Oh no, we lost some spooky eldritch books. Like, we won't ever come across more of those.
Yeah.
Like Perny wants to keep this, but not enough that he's gonna like. He wants it to be worth his while.
Yep.
And just to show that Perny's not like messing around, I think he's gonna like, as if itching, start reaching towards whatever pocket he's holding those papers in, just so that this entity is like aware he means business.
Nice intimidation.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. So what's going to happen is, it does not have the immediate power to do something like that, but it has the immediate power to work through you. And so as you're reaching for it, you kind of have a bit of a vision. You see yourself like 100 feet tall, striding over the land, like unholy flame power in your hand, and you see yourself summoning a demon like, you know, better than like you think of the demons that you can summon and how they're all kind of like not very reliable or kind of dicks, and but you're like, no, this demon that you summon comes out and it's like, you know, just a huge unholy mass of black shadow, but like with a little smile on its face, and it looks like kind of like a kindly old grandpa. It looks like Ed Wynn in Mary Poppins, but like made of shadows.
Shadow
Uncle Albert,
Edwin.
those who don't know the actor, Uncle Albert character in Mary Poppins, who's floating on the ceiling. But instead of floating on the ceiling, but he's floating and laughing, you know, while, you know, wreaking havoc and being, you know, wreathed in bale flame, and all this sort of thing. So you feel like you're being offered better demonic summoning as an option. If only you were to do that in this chamber, for example, if you were to use this granted power, you could like overthrow these upstarts.
Oh no! Please
This is
don't.
a for instance, not a thing I can do right now, correct? This is like a if you stick with me.
You feel like maybe you could.
I don't think Perny is actually that destructive, egotistical, and evil yet. Not yet. Maybe
Yes.
yeah, maybe further down the dark path. But like he likes playing tricks. He's an old man in suspenders. He summons a demon now and then, but I don't think he wants to summon something ready to trample a city yet.
Well, hang on a second there. Let me test your resolve on this, because what I'm offering is I'm offering a black token that you would then hang on to.
A freebie.
But
a freebie.
in exchange.
I mean, I don't have to pay the credit card bill, and except for the minimum amount for as long as I want, and there's no consequences.
And in the exchange, I would literally allow you to do like an archfiend summoning at this point, and basically have it just get your asses out of here.
I don't know if Perny's that evil. I don't think he's there yet.
I'm just making the offer. This is your decision to make.
Yeah. I think Perny's gonna make a middle of the road attempt to keep his papers and say,
I'll throw in a hero point. That's as far as I go, though. That's the end of the offer.
It's your final
all
offer.
right,
Take it or leave
Perny,
it.
Perny's going to begin a speech to buy a little bit of time and be like, I'm used to being misunderstood because of my eccentricities and pranks, and yes, perhaps I've dabbled a little bit in some warlock magic now and then, which I didn't think was illegal in Dwimmerdale, and my tome, I know, elicits all kinds of mention, and he's pulling this out, and then he starts sort of scribbling as he's talking to the group, and he's like, can summon a large demon, get us all out of here, yes, no, please reply. Copernicus Sunshine.
My eyes go wide, I try not to say anything.
And I'll be listening for your replies, and I'm going to position it such that Morgan can see, yes, like, what I've written in ink, so that she can reply.
I start fervently shaking my head.
You all can think your answers.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
are these guys bad? I thought they were just in charge.
Absolutely, these guys are assholes, but I don't think we want to summon a demon to get us out of here.
My sister distracted me while that description was happening, so I totally did not see what was written.
Okay, so Perny basically wrote, can summon very large demon, get us all out of here safely. Should I do it? Yes, no. Perny Sunshine. No? Okay. Perny is not going to do it. He's not taking the offer.
Well, hang on. I want to hear everybody else's responses. Does Trotman respond?
Don't.
No.
Yeah, so I guess if that 15 passed the save for the influence on this thing, then Perny's not going to do it. If the 15 failed, I will submit to
your 15 is kind of on the bubble, so you failed the saving throw, but the compulsion was not specifically to accept that offer, because of course that offer, like all of the good ones, has to be voluntarily accepted. But what you are not able to do is betray the book. You can't pull the pages out and like go, here they are, yep, there's the dark magic, sure, and toss it. Like you're being compulsed to hide that on your person and not give it up.
And one of us rat out the pages if we know about them.
I mean,
I
don't know about them.
Yeah, I don't think Cromlin knows.
I think Perny's just gonna finish his speech about like I'm used to being maligned. I think that you're sensing trace magic from the magic that was cast on me by this creature. I was sent into a phantasmagoria. I'm used to being maligned and my methods being.
You can't say that because you're in a zone of truth.
All that's true though.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying anything that's not true. I'm only offering other truths that are distractions from the fact that I am carrying pages.
Okay, I see. I thought you said that you are only sensing trace magic. I don't have any dark magic.
Oh, sorry. You may be tracing you may be tracing residual magic. Like, I'm going to offer all of these true, plausible, alternative explanations. And I will say, like, I am a warlock. I do have a pact. I do have a patron, but it's all above board.
I look shocked.
Yeah, actually, it's probably the first time he's just outright said that in front of this party in ever. So I'll tell a bunch of other truths. Won't mention the pages. And in fact, I think I'm gonna Yeah, I don't think I have time now, but if ever Perny has a moment, he's gonna try and slide the pages into the tome so that they're like one more dark energy inside an entire tome full of dark energy and just like hide it in plain sight. Yeah. So I'm gonna say like I have been accused. To me, being accused of bringing some dark magic to Dwimmerdale feels like being accused of bringing crud to Mud Hollow. Like it's just it was already here, and
True,
of course
we do
it
have a lot
travels
of
with.
that.
We got lots of it.
Yeah.
It's our main export.
All right. All right. I would like everybody to roll perception except for Copernicus.
Nope.
Nope.
Critical.
Ooh, good. Critical.
Thank God.
I have 10.
As the person with the mention door,
Hmm.
I'm pretty happy
So-
about that.
So the high roll other than Morgan was a 10.
No, 26.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said nope. 26 is a success. So both Morgan and Tromlin notice Copernicus slipping some parchments from his robe into the tome that he's been scribbling in.
I shoot
Um,
Morgan a
but
look like this is not good.
I would also like you all, other than Copernicus, to roll me just a straight int check,
Oh no.
and you can potentially.
Oh,
just
and of course I roll high on that.
4. Nope, 3. Sorry. 3.
Yeah.
17.
I minus 1.
13.
5.
13 and 5. So, Tromlin, you vaguely remember something about pages that Copernicus said something about while you were a statue and everybody else was like trying to get across the lake, and Copernicus just took off. He said something about like he might do some bad things, but everyone should be careful about that. He's sort of in a vague kind of
Right.
offhand way that he has.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Fetid, you specifically remember because you were there when you were sneaking up and you found that, like, you remember the book that you found, the crumbling book with the pages that when you were scouting ahead that you brought
Right.
back to the party that Copernicus took and said, oh, this is like a magic. This is probably what made that vampire Quaggillithid. Well, not that you knew it was a vampire yet, but this is what probably made the ritual that made all the intellect hours and the plague. And then he went, I should hang on to that because it's important dark magic. And you kind of make that connection, like, because
Well, maybe
you
that's
you
it.
literally had you
Okay.
literally had that thing in your hand, like making dark whispers and like chilling you to the bone before you
good.
passed it off to Copernicus.
Well, I trust Perny with it more than these assholes, so I'm not going to say anything.
I have to kind of agree begrudgingly to that, but I'm not happy
Mhm.
about any of this. Also, I don't know what they'll do to him if they
Yeah.
find that that's out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose one of the only family members I don't
Do I?
feel threatened around.
Do I really have no inspiration?
Yeah, you spent the last one just now,
Oh, I thought
But-
I had
but-
more than. I thought I had a full stack.
but
before
hopefully
that.
you might have been looking at Oogna, who has a full stack. But
Yeah.
hopefully we're going to see some more cheering. I will mention, since it's a good time to the audience, that if you roll our cheer tracker over 100%, everybody gets an inspiration.
And
So I
boy,
noticed
do we
Meg-
ever use those things.
Metageeky has just
Oh,
recently
boy.
done so.
Yeah.
So thank you, Metageeky.
Thanks, Meta.
We're at 66%.
You meta.
I would
3 away
like
from
to
the funny sex number.
roll a diplomacy.
Yep, go for it.
You have some of that? Wow. I don't know anybody in the group had that.
That is a 6 on the dice, unfortunately. Oh wait, diplomacy is not a thing, so it would still be persuasion or performance, I guess.
Well, is this about knowledge?
No. So to them, I'll say this definitely feels like it is less about what magics are or aren't in the city, and more about a negotiation of power. You have brought us forth, people who have been working for this community, with this community in mind, and the larger world that we live in. People who fight for making it a better place, with an accusation of bringing dark forces, aiding dark forces even, in to this city. And that is not the case. We are, of our own volition, trying to make the world a better place, trying to save lives, and live our own freely and happily. This feels like a power grab. And if you want to negotiate with us, and you want us to be, and our power, to be a part of something that you call upon, then do so in a more respectful way. Because if you want a relationship and not just a power grab, not just a governmental use of time and resources to, I don't know, take what we own for yourselves, then we can do that. We can talk to you about what it means to create a safer space in the city. Because everything that we've done, everything that I've done with this group, has been for the good.
So you say. This city has laws. There are magics that are proscribed, whose use is forbidden. You are not citizens of Dwemer. Your accusers are.
Again,
We are not going to take your word that what you seek to do with dark magics that are against our laws to possess is for the greater good. And in our experience, the use of such magics, whether intended for good or ill, never comes to greater
I will
good.
raise my hand, and can I try to do, I guess, it would be a persuasion check?
Yep.
I'm going to try to... I'm telling the truth, but I do not like this. Hold on.
I would like
Persuasion
to
is...
do a couple of
What's
checks,
that?
one of them being Arcana to recall what I know about Zone of Truth, and the other being what the actual laws of the city are, and if I would know that. 'Cause I don't know.
You're not particularly familiar with the law. All you know is that Dwemer is crazy magic town.
Yeah.
I rolled a
The
24.
one person who might know more about the laws of the city is Copernicus.
Bernie, and he wants to break them.
Can I do a grasp at legal straws, like running through my memory for any loopholes that might help me out here?
For sure.
Oh, buddy.
And then Tromlin, sorry, you were saying.
24 persuasion. My reply is, if you go to the school, you will find samples that we sent back of a purple fungus that was corrupting the quaggles underneath and threatening your city. You do not tell us who accused us, but yet, as you point out, we are not citizens, yet we went into the Underdark to face this thing that was threatening your people. People who accuse us did nothing but accuse us.
This
So-
is the sort of evidence that we ask for. You have other witnesses? Do you have other evidence to give? We will
Ask
send
any
to
of
the
the
school.
quaggles who live in the basement of
We
your
can
stupid
list some of
Goth city.
I list the names of some of the quaggles who we worked with, and also like the people who we sent
so
things to.
Bert Picknuckle, for example.
I want to know the names of the quaggles we've worked with because that's never been communicated to me.
Yes.
They're very good.
So which ones are you giving? So the ones that you know the names of, right? There was Bert Picknuckle.
Knuckle?
Picknuckle. As in, as in like going up to the knuckle. Wazzlegrot
Sounds like a
And
weird
Lick-
Disney cartoon character from the 80s.
and Licktoe.
Does not sound like that.
Those were the three. Licktoe and Wazzlegrot were the two goblins, and Bert Picknuckle was just a filthy halfling. Wazzlegrot was the one that had lost a foot.
I mentioned what we sent back, like the brain that was in the jar, samples, everything else. Like these are the things we found. We were fighting for our lives, and a lot of quaggles died, desperately trying to protect your city, and we risked ourselves as well. That should account for something. As you said, we are not citizens. We could have easily left.
So
Did
Also, I think your robes look really stupid.
you
Just like
you will show
so
respect in this chamber.
You put a M thingy on me. I have to tell you the truth, and I think they look like garbage.
In fairness, I'm continuing my persuasion roll. There has been little respect shown to us.
And if you would like a consultation, I would definitely be open to that free of charge, at least for the first hour.
Perhaps
You
if
have a lot of
you had-
resources in the city that could go towards beautification.
Mm-hmm.
Respect was shown to you in that you were not summarily arrested, but instead summoned to this chamber to speak in your defense. A call
yet
was
we
made, by
still-
the way, at the back of the room. You hear this, summon Bert Pitknuckle. And then another voice says, summon Binya Sunshine.
It is a game show.
Yeah.
And
It's the shittiest game show.
Mm-hmm.
Might our four-legged friend be the one who goes with to retrieve these folks,
love
as they're most familiar, and the people that you're requesting audience of have been heavily discriminated against by the powers of structure within this city, and they would definitely come more freely with a friend.
so that's an interesting point for the rest of you. Morgan does not know this because Morgan isn't from here or has spent as much time here. But I'll remind everybody else that Dwemerdahl is one of the few places where Quaggles don't particularly see discrimination.
Yeah, right.
Because basically, if you're a weird little magic thing or a weird big magic thing, you're still a weird magic thing, which is kind of what everybody here is. Comparatively speaking, like one assumes that they're still like, oh, the cobblers are still at this height because that's the average height, and then the Quaggles can't reach stuff. But in terms of like, being literally driven to go live in horrible places.
Yeah.
I
Morgan,
got birdie.
Morgan's withholding.
But Morgan's not aware of that.
No,
No.
Morgan
but
is not aware of that.
also built heavily into the core of Morgan is ACAB.
Yeah, it's true.
Or sorry, ATAB, All Town.
Whatever.
Council.
All,
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
all
ASAP,
town councils.
all
yeah,
shrouds
all-
are-
Councils are
Cops
best.
everywhere.
I don't care if they're goth; they're still
the
soldiers.
fetid creed. The fetid creed. But sorry, Tromlin, you were still sort of trying to charm. I'm actually going to go ahead and make the saving throw because you have the where is it? The diplomat feat. So once you've been speaking with someone trying to persuade
yeah.
them for a period of time. Sorry. You make a separate roll for this. Make me a persuasion roll versus insight. They don't make a saving throw. They make the insight check against you to see if they are charmed.
I use another inspiration.
You certainly can. And the fun thing with this is non-magical, right? So even
Can
if they
I-
have magical
okay,
defenses here,
hold
it's
on.
not
Screen
appropriate.
capping for you.
Do we have a
Is
Is that a
crit?
nat 20? Is that a nat 20?
It would, in fact, be a nat 20.
Hell
so-
yes.
Ooh.
Hell yes.
I rolled moderately good on my insight, but I did not roll anywhere near that good. So you actually can feel, Tromlin, that you're kind of turning the tide a bit. Your group has been very like, you're. It's pretty obvious to you. Your group has been on the edge of like eating fireballs like for a while here. When the town is run by a bunch of wizards, or sorcerers or whatever the hell these guys are, and clearly the big problem here is this whole accused by citizens, non-citizens thing is like, yikes. You're pretty sure if this was Mud Hollow, you guys would have been like attacked on sight and not brought in at all.
Yeah.
But you're very glib, and you're very you do the whole sort of, hey, we didn't know, or we actually, whoever accused us has got some kind of vendetta here because we are the ones who are stopping the thing that's happening. I don't deny that there's been dark magic happening and it's bad. We've been working against it. And sort of like, clearly you're getting to him, You can't see his face.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
We
Who'd
can't
we
see
lose?
his face.
we
We
can't.
lost
Randy.
Tromblin.
Oh no. Well, that's it. They're not charmed anymore. He's gone.
Oh no!
The shroud zapped him out of existence.
Also, thanks to the chat for the inspiration.
Hell yes, thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Woo.
much.
Burning that very fast.
Rolled over twice.
Well done. And in short order, brought through the summoning portals, a guard leads in a bewildered and filthy looking Bert Picknuckle. Bert Picknuckle, I picture him wearing like one of those like kind of like bag hats, like the almost like fishing hat that people wear, but like that's like kind of made of like hemp or whatever, like the kind of thing that you expect to see a BC surfer wearing on the street, but pulled down so it's just able to see under it, and then like just general filth, and one of those way too big hippie sweaters that's just like just 10 sizes too big.
Also made
for
of
him.
hemp. He's just covered hemp in head to toe.
Looks
Yeah,
like it
and
was made out
barefoot,
of a rug
because-
folded in half.
Good.
Yeah, and he's barefoot because of course he is. He's a halfwing. Oh,
That's-
you okay? You back?
Yeah, my whole computer froze.
Oh,
and
no.
wouldn't restart.
Oh no.
Fun.
All you
Well, it was
missed
a 20.
Yeah, no, it worked. I just kind of went through how you're kind of
Your silver tongue. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Bert Picknuckle is brought in for questioning, and he is brought and sort of gestured to join you on the circle, and he does so. Coming up to Petted, and he kind of goes, "What's going on, man?"
Just tell the truth. It'll be fine. These guys suck, but yeah, it'll be okay. Also, aren't their robes like so stupid looking?
Oh, boy, I think it's kind of cool.
Uh,
Like all black. I wish I had a robe like that and a pair of sunglasses. That'd be cool.
I mean, that's true. The sunglasses would improve it quite a bit.
And so, yeah, so the guy says, and it's very, very excellent that this happened, because now I get to do, Bert Picknuckle, you have been summoned to speak for these non-citizens that stand accused. They claim to have been fighting against a fungus and undead that besieged our city from beneath. And Bert immediately goes, "Oh yeah, they totally did. He's like the great folk hero Fetid from the north, Fetid of the north."
Oh, is that what they're calling me now? Okay.
He brought these other, magic fellers, and they came and fought all the little purple things that was biting folks. All my friends were getting bit, and they had to have their bits cut off where it got all purple and gross. And if it didn't, then they turned all bad, and they did. They would attack us. And then there was like a big thing full of slime, and it was huge with eyes like this, and it like grabbed her, and she's big, and it grabbed me, and they took me and threw me down the hall, so I booked it out of there. But they all crumpled up and it went away, and it was because they said they took down the big main one, and now all of the purple things is going away. Is gone.
Morgan's
There's
gonna
murmuring around the chamber. People are like, oh, gone.
Morgan's gonna like wave down one of the guards or a servant, and like call them forward and be like, "Can we get some like chairs? My hooves are starting to kind of hurt." and then like, and like in like that will also turn to Tromlin, and using Sluts Can't, will be like, no offense to this guy, but like, isn't there like the lady that healed everybody as like is she okay to call in? I don't know.
We'll actually mention her name. Also, Gary, the Beholder.
Yeah, we should maybe chat about Gary.
Maybe not Gary. Maybe not Gary and Sluts
We-
Can't. But,
Sorry, the woman who healed everybody. Are we talking about?
the one
Fae?
who used like full restoration. No,
That was a
the-
Fae.
Oh,
I
the
was gonna call
Lulf.
her.
Yeah,
The head priestess of Lulf.
yeah.
So she wasn't down there, so you don't know. She could be like a
She
character.
saw our wounds though.
No, but like
Yeah.
she saw all the wounds and was talking about ways to like
Okay.
heal them.
I'll mention it, and that I was petrified, about Gary. But
'Cause
still,
first you were afraid, right? As we
They were
joked
petrified.
at the time.
Yeah,
And Morgan will
He
also
did in
ask
fact
for
survive,
snacks.
though.
yeah.
Yeah. So the song was prophetic.
That's how it goes.
Glory of the prophet.
Hey, alright, like, elbow, Perny. Can these guys, like, read brains or something? Because I could show them the vampire
I sure
biting
hope
me.
not.
I think they probably can. I don't know if they can see the images, but if you were willing to participate, I think that they would be able to.
Sure.
uh,
Okay, so I hold up my hand and I just stare at the shrouds.
I think that Oogna Sugartusk, notable performer and fighter of the fighting pits all over this land, has volunteered to let you read her brain.
Yeah, hi, that's
so you
me.
can see the truth of the vampire fight.
Yeah, I got a real good look at those fangs, and he drank just a lot of my blood. So if you want to see that, it's all up here.
Very well. We will call these witnesses that you have named, and we will look into the possibility of using magic to determine the truth that lies in your minds. But first, a short recess or something, because we're on break time.
Break time!
So
I gotta hit the bathroom.
they call a recess or whatever. I don't
You're
know.
gonna consult about magic.
There's a big Law and Order logo that appears and it goes dun, dun,
Dun.
and then we go to commercial.
Scribes from across the hall break into conversation as they write stuff down, speaking into speaking stone.
Good.
So let's take our break, and we'll pick up with Trash Heroes, the courtroom drama. After these
Law
messages.
and Order and Kobold.
Trash law.
It's like
and disorder.
law and disorder.
Good.
All right,
All right. See y'all in a few.
we'll be back shortly.